We're going to talk about housing supply and the fact that there isn't an undersupply. The demand is so weak that the supply is adequate, and in fact I think in some cases is heading for too much stock, and we'll talk about why. That may change some people's modus operandi and mindsets. Let's just quickly cover what's happening. There is lots of conversation, lots of comments about what drives price and what's driven house price growth in the last decade and before. Essentially it comes down to one thing: expansion of credit. So if you have a loan to value ratio easing, you have non-bank players come into the market, which has been the case particularly in the last decade, or we see declines in interest rates, you see the availability of credit loosen, and you see price growth occur. We're actually seeing an increase in the household size. Now, you often read two things. You either read that the household size is falling because the figures are up to the 2006 census, but there's a variety of figures that come out from the ABS or estimates that say that it's rising. It's rising because on average, a recent migrant has one person more per home than the older Australian couple. Why? They like to live like that. And so my point here is that contrast to the HIA, the UDIA, the PCA, and it goes on and on and on, I think that there will be a need for less houses in Australia in the future rather than more. Now I might get that wrong, but imagine if I've got that nearly right, then the expectation that we can keep on building the way we are and building increasing volumes may not be the case. And you'll have to fight for market share of a declining market. You're going to see what I call investment withdrawal. You're going to people say, I'm going to buy this place and in the next 5 years I'm going to double the money and I'm going to sell it and oh great. I think those days are finished. I think really at best we're going to see not much price growth for the next 5 to 10 years. And that's happened in the past. The market operates like a step, like this, goes up. We've just had one of these periods and then it runs again. There's periods in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, even country and regional locations where markets plateau for a long time. Despite all the hype about units, urban consolidation, what is generally called a sustainability. Now what I mean by that is not being more energy efficient, but we better live closer together because it's better for the environment, is that across Australia the percentage of product built hasn't changed much and it's still mainly detached homes. And whilst the lot size has fallen, the average house size hasn't fallen too much. And whilst there's some economic sense to do that when things are okay, when things get tougher, we have to compromise. But in general, we still want to live in detached houses.